Hey, welcome back to my sewing corner. My name is Celeste, and I just really want to take the time to thank all of my new subscribers that have recently joined my channel. Welcome to my life as a wifepreneur. I love just sharing things, not only with my business endeavors, but also things within my home, and really one of my favorite hobbies, which is sewing. It really helps relax me. And so today we're going to talk about the things that I made during September of 2021. If you haven't already subscribed, I encourage you to do that now, and we'll jump right into it. So I have my little list over here because I don't want to forget anything that I've made this year or this month. This month is what I'm trying to say. I have been able to finish some projects that I've been working on, as well as start and finish other projects. So I think that September of 2021 has been very successful in my sewing corner. The first thing that I finished up is a project that I had probably 5 or 6 years. And I'm going to insert the picture here so that you can see what I'm talking about. In my dining room, I leave up year-round like a 4 or 4.5 foot Christmas tree. And every season, I change the decor on that. And so, of course, it's fall, finally. And I have added some little branches of flowers and sunflowers, as you can see, all artificial. And then I have a tree skirt underneath it. And so that is about 1.5 yards to 2 yards of fall fabric. And so typically for the past 5 years, I have just scrunched it up underneath there and called it a tree skirt. But I haven't found the pattern to really truly make, a tree skirt that lies flat around it. So what I did is I really worked on my rolled hem abilities, stitch, I guess you would say, and created a rolled hem around it and then placed it underneath there. I will say that my rolled hem on my serger, those skills are better than my rolled hem on my sewing machine. I do have the rolled hem foot, but I like it better on the serger. So in the future, I will be doing that on the serger as opposed to doing it on the sewing machine. So I'm so thankful that I was able to finish that project, really start it. I just have been putting it aside for whatever reasons, I guess life. So I'm glad that that is finally completed. Let's look at the next thing that I made. So the next thing that I made was this pattern, the Church Ladies Apron pattern. And you can see my apron that I completed here. I'm not going to go into great detail about this apron because in a future video I will do a pattern review of the Church Ladies Apron pattern. I bought this several years ago in a quilt shop, a local quilt shop, and so you might check there if you're looking for apron patterns. I did find it on Amazon as well, so I'll include that link down below in the description box if you are interested in doing that. Lately, I have been really into aprons, and so I will share what I thought about this pattern and why I chose the fabric that I did. But I really am pleased with how it turned out. Received a lot of compliments on them and on it, and so I'm ready to wear it for game day, college game day. Woohoo! Yes, we do food at our house every Saturday in preparation for our afternoon and evenings of watching various colleges play football. Just one thing that we enjoy doing as a family. So those are 2 things that I completed. The third thing that I completed was this shirt that I'm wearing. And I talked about it in an earlier video. It's the New Look pattern 6529. I did view C of that. And in that previous video, which I'll link here in the iCards, I mentioned that I wasn't really pleased at the boxy style, but this is the second time that I've worn it. First of all, this is fabric that my mother had in her stash. And so I really was planning on using it just as a muslin piece, not really planning to wear it out of my house. But I'm going to have to say that this fabric is so soft, and I think the colors really complement my skin tone. And as I was rummaging this morning, I found earrings that complimented it, and a bracelet that I haven't worn in a while that I think goes with it well. Now that I'm wearing it with leggings, I like it. I like it. I was really concerned about the boxiness, making, my body shape look larger than what it is, but it really, I think, is good. And so the only thing that I need to do, as you can see, is I really need to hem up my sleeves a little bit more. Initially, I thought it would only be like 1.5 inches, but I think maybe it might be a little over 2 inches. So I need to do that. But it is super comfortable. And the neckline that I was really concerned about, I don't think you can really see my oops on there, but I still want to really work on that. But I liked how this really lies flat there. So I'm really pleased with that. It's something that I'm going to do in the future. I want to do in the future view D with the hoodie and with the slit on each side, but not make that tail as long as it is on the model. And so they also have leggings on here, and I love my leggings. They're super comfortable, so I might even venture out doing that. But I'm really pleased using up my stash that I had and not having to go and purchase any additional fabric for it. So all I did earlier this year, bought this pattern. New looks really don't go on sale at Joann's, but for just a couple bucks, not too bad for a shirt, and I love it. It's really comfortable, and so I've received some compliments on it too. So, for someone who hasn't really made clothing in a long time and really apprehensive, I don't know if you're like that, but I'm apprehensive of wearing something. I don't want it to look homemade, but when you receive compliments and asking where you purchased the shirt, it really makes you feel good. Makes you feel like it doesn't look like something that you made. So really thankful for that. So I look forward to making more of these. Okay, the last thing that I finished, and I finished yesterday, September the 29th, was working on the final blankets for a charity that I have chosen for the month, for the year of 2021. And every year I choose a different charity. So for 2019, I chose making pillowcases for a local children's hospital here. They give a pillowcase to a child that has to stay in the hospital for a long period of time, just to kind of, make their room a little warmer and more cheerful for them. And then I also helped my local quilt shop make some items for various nursing homes in our city. And so every week they would have a day that we bring our sewing machines, and if we could donate any fabric to make, I forgot what they're exactly called, but it was like a neck wrap, but it had 2 pockets on each side, and one side they could put like the room key or some tissues and maybe some chapstick, those kinds of things for those that were more mobile and weren't using a walker. And so we made probably 200 of those, and we're able to donate them to several nursing homes in our city. So that was a great project. And 2020, I think all of us were using our sewing skills to make masks for our healthcare workers. And I chose a hospital that's about 5 miles from my home. And they were not getting the publicity that the larger teaching hospital was getting about the need for masks. In fact, that larger hospital had a drop-off point with a box outside that you could place them in. And so I just ended up calling the hospital. Of course, they were very busy, so no one answered that particular line. So I went onto their Facebook page and just sent a message, hey, do y'all need any face masks? Is there a particular style that the healthcare workers prefer? And they immediately sent back a message saying, we need them. So I made up some of them. I think I made up probably about 50 masks because I also made them for my family and for college friends who were in the healthcare field in other states were contacting me saying, could you make us some? And so I gladly did that. When I took them up to the hospital and gave them to the receptionist, the administrator's office, which I didn't know was just off to the side, and he came out personally to thank me. Not that I needed that, but it was just really an extra touch that I was doing something to be helpful, because didn't want just to make masks to be lying there not used, but they were very much appreciated, and I did that a couple more times, and they ended up knowing my name, called me by name when I came in to deliver the masks. And so that is the charity that I chose for 2020. Now let's jump to 2021. I chose the Project Linus charity, and we're going to go and jump onto their website, because this is a charity that is based in all 50 states in the United States. So let's jump onto their website, and let me just kind of show you how you can find your local chapter, as you are probably contemplating maybe what your charity for 2022 will be. So let's jump on there real quick and let me show you, and then I'm going to come back and show you my blankets that I finished.
Okay, so we're on the Project Linus webpage. I wanted to show this to you so that hopefully it will be helpful to you if you're thinking about doing this project in 2022, or for any kind of organizations that maybe work with children. This would be a great craft for them to work on together and provide blankets for children in need. And so you can see there are many options here. We can talk about the mission. It is making new homemade blankets to children in need, and they are given to children, we'll just go over here, who are in need. Maybe they are about to be removed from their home, maybe they're in the hospital battling an illness, maybe they are having to relocate because they've lost everything in a fire. This is a great way to provide blankets for them. All the chapters are in all 50 states, and so we'll go back over here. You can go to Find Chapters, and if you scroll down, there is a map, and you can find your state that you live in. And so this charity even includes outside the continental US, which is Alaska and Hawaii. So we'll go to my state of Tennessee that I'm currently living in, and I can find the chapters by which region or city that I might be living in. Now, what I want to encourage you to do is, because when I was in Texas, we'll go back to that one, and I was looking at the contact person for the city that I was in while taking care of my mom, I wanted to make sure that the drop-off points were still accurate. So they have the phone numbers as well as an email address that you can contact the chapter representative for your particular area, and make sure that your drop-off points are still accurate from this website. And so in my area, the local Joanne store is a drop-off, and they have a box located by one of the registers, and I just put my blankets in there. So that's a great way to find that. If you're not familiar with how to make a blanket, they do accept blankets that are crocheted, knitted, quilted, even those no-sew fleece blankets. And so I can even envision this where children are standing around a table and an adult comes and clips the proper tags on the ends, and the children get to tie those together. So that's a great project even for elementary students to be doing. So this is the website. There are stores, there are patterns, they have events. Maybe you can participate in one of those in your local area, but I just wanted to show you this website so you can get a feel of what kind of blankets and how to find your local chapter representative.
All right, so that's a really easy website to navigate. And so as I was putting away fabric that my mother had given me from her stash, I found 5 pieces of fleece that I probably had a project in mind for, but I couldn't recall what that was now. So what I decided to do is I went ahead and used the rolled hem stitch on my serger to finish these up. And so here are the 5 blankets that I'm about to take as soon as I finish recording this video to be donated to Project Linus. And so there are 3 that could, go for older children, maybe teens, or these I think are really fun for girls. The owl print, very colorful. So I'm really pleased with how my rolled hem stitch. Thankful that I have finished those 5 blankets, using up my stash. I probably will not be making any more blankets for the rest of the year, just because in our family, October, November, and December are really busy, not only with family activities, but with our businesses. And so I'm trying to be realistic in what I'm able to do, but I'm glad that I was able to, I think this makes it 20 or 21 blankets that I made this year. So I know that's not a lot, but with my life and having to go and take care of my mom and relocate her and move her, I'm pleased with what I was able to do. I think every blanket is one more blanket able to help a child that's in need. So thankful for that project. So let's look at some of the projects that I'm planning to do, hopefully in October, if I have some time. What I've recently done is as I've been clearing out and reorganizing and purging some things, I found this little tote bag that my brother and his family gave me for one Christmas. And so I thought that would be a great tote bag to put my future projects in. And I found that I had these little bags here. These bags were purchased many years ago from the Container Store. And when I purchased them, I think they were $3.99. I probably did not pay that amount. I probably waited until they were on sale. And so I purchased some of those. And so I'm putting my projects and patterns in them together. So I'm putting them in order. So the first project here, and excuse my nasal congestive sound. I think I'm trying to get a cold. I think maybe more allergies. I'm hoping that's allergies. So the first project that I'm going to be working on is a pillowcase that I've already talked about for my oldest nephew. And so this is what I purchased from Amazon. And it's a lacrosse fabric, and I found this in my stash. I'm going to make this the top of the pillowcase. Typically the pillowcase has an outer cuff, a inner cuff, and then actual pillowcase. I think I'm going to forgo the inner cuff and just make this the outer and inner cuff here. I think that complements it well. The reason why I'm not doing the inner cuff is because it's orange is what I would probably pick. And my oldest nephew is a huge Ohio State fan. And so his whole room is in Ohio State colors. And so the orange would really clash with that. And so I think that just having this would be a good complement to his room. So that is the project I need to finish up because Christmas is coming and I need to have this ready. The second project that I'm going to do is a pillowcase for my youngest nephew. I referenced this fabric in an earlier video. Again, he loves video games, and I found this fabric in my stash that I'm planning to do for my outer and inner cuff. I think that would go well. I'm still kind of debating. If you have a suggestion, if you say nay, please comment below. If you think it's a good selection, also let me know. He is an 8th grader, and so he's a teenager. So I've got to be thinking about that. I think that would be a great complement to that fabric. So if I have more time after doing those, I really need to make pillowcases for my oldest and youngest niece. So I need to be looking for fabric for them. I haven't been able to find anything. So let's open this next pack. I'm planning to do this older pattern, Sew B5170. I'm planning to do the tank there for my mother. She likes to layer things, and she had this fabric in her stash that I brought back with me. So I think that would be a great fall tank that she could layer with a light cardigan for those, you know, cool days, not really cold days. And so that's what I'm planning on making for her. Again, this is an older pattern that she had, and so I think that would be a good selection for that. And she can wear it with many different things. I mean, there's greens, there's browns, there's darker colors I think would be a great thing. So that's a third project that I'm trying to finish. And then I referenced this in an earlier video here, monogramming these. I won't be using them, of course, for fall. They'll be for next spring. But one of my Instagram followers suggested that I use a darker green, since I'm going to be doing it here in the center with the red, pink, and orange. So I think that was a great suggestion. So I thank that Instagram follower for giving me that suggestion. If you're not following on Instagram, I've included that handle below. Please follow me there. So I really appreciate the help, because I really have been stumped. I originally was going to go with like a black, but I like the green color suggestion much better, and green is my favorite color. So that will be great. And then the next project that I don't have fabric for, or that I really haven't spent time looking for in my stash to see if I have anything yet, is this Butterick Pattern 6377. I want to do view A, the view that the model is wearing there. I like the color blocking there. And so that is another project that I want to complete for fall and go into winter. So that is what I have been up to, and that is what I'm planning to do. What are you working on? Please comment below. I would love to know what you're working on, or follow me on Instagram and shoot me a message there. I would really like to know what you are doing. So stay tuned to my pattern review for the Church Ladies Apron pattern coming up soon. So make sure you subscribe, click that notification bell, and until next time, happy sewing.